everybody. Welcome to Stamping with Melva. Just waiting for it to catch up in Facebook, and then we will be all set to go. And it's not, there we go. Forgot to put a title in. Oh, there we go. Let me just, sorry, trying to get caught up here. Not sure why I missed part of this. It won't let me go live without it, but I think I'm almost ready. You know, it's funny, I come upstairs waiting to go live or to get ready to go live about an hour before, and then here I am at the last minute. All right, everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada, and you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Wednesday tonight. Gosh, this week is going by fast, but it was a holiday here on Monday, so kind of always throws me off for a little bit. And on Wednesday nights, I share a technique with you. Hey, Sharon. And so tonight I'm going to do a card. This is going to be a real stretch for me because this is a clean and simple card, and I don't do clean and simple. I'll be the first to admit clean and simple is not my style. I tend to be a bit of more avid with lots of sprigs and things, layers. But I'm going to try and keep it simple. We'll see how this goes. I have an idea. I'm also going to show you, I'm going to use my blending brushes to do and use a mask, and I'll show you that a little bit, something different that I've done at least in a while. So let's switch over and we'll get started. So I pulled out the Layering Leaves stamp set. I haven't used this one in a long time, but I was looking specifically for a sentiment that said "for you," and also something that had some fairly simple images, and I'm just going to pick one of these and use on my cards. So this Layering Leaves, I believe, yes, it was $1 million stamp set. Rachel Tessman, who's a demonstrator from Minnesota, helped design this one. It's really lovely. And I believe there is still a punch that goes with this one. So it's kind of fun. Okay, so let's start on our clean and simple card. So clean and simple means, for me, just a basic white cardstock. So this is thick basic white, and I'm going to score this at 4 1/4. So that's 5.5 by 8.5 scored at 4 1/4. Now, here's a technique. So this is kind of clean and simple, but also another technique. So let's fold our card base. Let's fold into the mountain and give it a burnish. Okay, so I took these rectangular postage dies, which I used last night, and I cut out the second largest from I think this is 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I cut the middle out, and typically I would use the middle part. So I'm going to use the negative space to do some masking. So I'm not using masking paper. I could do that, but I am going to use a little bit of Post-it notes. So I'm going to just lay that piece on as even in the middle as I can get. And I'm going to just take some Post-it note tape, and I'm going to stick that down right onto the paper and onto my glass mat. I grabbed some blending brushes, and it's fall, so I'm thinking of autumn colors. So I grabbed Crumb Cake, Peach Pie, and Copper Clay. I'm going to start with Crumb Cake. Of course, now I've got my... And so there we go. Let's pick up some ink. So I keep my lid open on my ink pad so I can kind of tap off. And I'm going to try and go fairly light because I just want to create a scalloped block on the inside without going over the edge. Try not to go over the edge. The scallops will help me line up if it does shift at all. Now I'm going to try and go really lightly. So I'm going to add in a little bit of peach pie. And I just want just a little bit. And I did shift. See, I told you I was going to shift. How did I do that? Even after I glued this down, I managed to shift my piece, but luckily these scallops helped me line it up again. So you can do as much blending as you want. Now, I did pull out my copper clay. Now I'm going to pick this up just on one edge and just see what it looks like underneath there. So there we go. We've got it's kind of a frame section, but I do think I want a little bit of the copper clay in there, which is this one that I just managed to close. Okay. Now this is really juicy, and I'm going to tap, 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 tap off. Yeah, I only just want just a little bit of the copper clay. I don't want it to be too dark. There we go. That's looking a little better. Okay, so let's pull that off, and I'll hold this up a little bit. I did go a little bit over the edge, but I'm going to maybe sponge that at the edge because I've gone a little bit over the edge. Okay, so let's grab my, and I'm seeing some comments that I'm clearly missing on Facebook. Hey, Lynette. Hey, Karen. No, I think it's a carryover, Karen, from the last year's catalog, or from one of the previous catalogs. I'm not sure which one it was in, whether it was the annual or whether it was in one of the minis. So it's been around for a little bit, but definitely a carryover. All right, so I've got my my kind of inside. So a little bit different way of using a die cut to create a mask and do the inside of it. Often we lay a die cut down and go around the edge. Now I am going to put this back on. And this time I'm going to use it to mask as I do a little bit of stamping. Just a little bit of stamping. So I'm going to keep this part of the stem down, and I'm just going to stamp. Oh, I want it to stamp off. All right, so let's see. So I'm just going to kind of, and just a little bit of something in the bottom corner. So this can come off now. Save that. So now I've got my images in the bottom. Now I went ahead and punched out, this is the smallest, I think, the smallest die in that set, that the rectangle the postage rectangle. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment. Like that. So I stamped that in in copper clay. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of sponging. Like I said, I went over the edge with my when I was doing my masking. So I'm going to do a little bit of sponging. Hey, Louise. And so I'm going to, let's bring back in the copper, or in the crumb cakes. So I'm just going to kind of make it look a little vintagey by doing just a little bit of what typically in the past we would have used are sponges or sponge daubers, and now I'm just using one of my blending brush, covering over my oops is. It's always a good thing. Trying very hard to keep this clean and simple, but I'm struggling. But anyway, I think it's going to be classified as clean and simple. But I'm also going to sponge blend with some color around my sentiment, just so it doesn't show up quite so much. And then the other thing I'm going to do, the other thing I did was I grabbed my copper clay, and I'm going to put this back on because I'm going to do some splattering, and this will get all over. So one of the easy ways to do, hey Lena, to do splattering is to take one of your Stampin' Blends and using the wide tip, the brush end, take the cap off and gently just rub or stroke the brush end in the cap, and you will end up with splatter. And of course I got splatter all over the place, so we'll add some more splatter. And I did go over the edge, but that's okay because that's kind of why I did some of the blending around that edge. So let's do, now I want to use some twine. This is the Natural Tones linen thread. It's part of the Wintry Treetops or Nests of Winter suite. The stamp set is called Wintry Treetops. And if I can find the end, there we go. I'm just going to take a little bit of Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to zigzag this back and forth. So I love linen thread. So this Natural Tone linen thread in copper clay, maybe garden green, Night of Navy. Yeah, probably garden green. It will go with a lot of different things. Come on. I was trying to not to get it to stick to my fingers. There we go. And again, I'm going to wipe my, that's alcohol, so it takes a little bit to come off, but it will come off. If you use alcohol wipes, hand sanitizer, it cleans up really nicely. Yeah, it's an easy way to do splatter. Sometimes it doesn't work as well as I'd like, and I guess it depends on whether the blend is new and has lots of the alcohol ink in it. That's my theory. I don't know. Okay, let's turn this the right way. Now, where shall I? Come, I got 3 here. There we go. Fussing. Okay. Now, one other thing I was going to do, because I love clean and simple. I have a hard time, I told you that, with it. But I'm going to do a little trick with my trimmer. So I'm going to do lines using the scoring blade. So I've got my card marked, and I've got it right to the 1/4 inch, and I'm just going to go up, and I'm going to, and you may not be able to see that, but it just adds a little bit of detail. So I'm just going to go to the score line. So I'm just turning it, and again, this will go in, the score line will go into, it'll be easier to go this way. Like that. And then again, used to do this a lot with our trimmer. just adding some detail and some lines. There we go. So I'll bring this up. I don't know if you can see this very well, but it's just got a little bit of the scoring, just to add a little detail around the edge of the card. Okay, so come on, stay there. Now we can't have, I can't make a card without putting embellishments on. So I'm going to use these. These are the textured dots. I don't know if they've come back into stock. They've been so popular. I absolutely love them. So we're just going to add some of these just because it feels vintagey. The kind of the metal feels vintagey to me. So since I've got some sponging going on, now let's take the copper clay and just stamp. Now, one trick, let me just stamp this and then I'll tell you my reminder, give you my reminder. If you were going to stamp on the inside of your card and then color it with your blends, you would want to put a piece of basic white cardstock in there because the blends will soak through and you will see the coloring on the back. So just a reminder, if you do want to do some kind of coloring on the inside of your card with the blends, make sure you put another layer on the inside of your card. But there you go. There is my, it's as close to clean and simple as I think I'm actually able to do. But a bit vintagey with the sponging. I love the twine. Again, that's part of the Nests of Winter suite that went live in the new catalog today. So there we go. That's my clean and simple card using kind of an old favorite stamp set. And it's kind of nice to pull out some stamp sets every once in a while that you haven't used. And so I went looking specifically for the For You sentiment and found that one and thought those stems would be really pretty too. All right, everybody. Now, did you go shopping today in the new catalog? It went live today. Not only did the September to December mini catalog go live, so did Stampin' Up's new scrapbooking brochure. And so are you as excited as scrapbooking coming back, at least coming back to Stampin' Up? I know it's been around for a long time but Stampin' Up hasn't been doing a lot of scrapbooking or memory keeping for a while. So it's exciting to see what's coming. So I actually ordered a couple of the kits that they are offering. So they're workshop kits. So I think they make 3 double layouts. So I'm interested to see what they're like. So stay tuned because I'm not sure what I'm going to offer as far as classes and events and offerings with the scrapbooking yet. I'm going to play a little bit. And so stay tuned in October or so and we'll see what it will be. And if you're interested in getting, hey Connie, if you're interested in getting into scrapbooking because you've never done that before, or you're going to get back into scrapbooking or memory keeping, come join me on the journey because it's been a long time since I've done it as well. And I think we have to forget about the fact that we have thousands and thousands of pictures on our computer or our camera or our phone or whatever, and just decide we're going to take some of the most important ones and do a couple of pages to tell a bit of a story. So I'm going to kind of focus on that because if I think about all the pictures I have, I will not get anything done. It's just a little overwhelming. So we're just going to pick at them, pick a few out and do some pages along the way. So stay tuned for some more information about what I'm going to do with the scrapbooking. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that. Now, let's see. It's Thursday. I don't go live. Saturday, I'm at a demonstrator event all day, so I won't be live on Saturday, but I will be live on Sunday at 12 noon. So come join me then and we'll make another project together. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me. Hope you have a great evening. Happy stamping. Bye.